From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. And boy, oh boy, today is Thursday, and this is actually going to be our last show of the week because I do have to go out of town. I hate to do that right now, but just some very important family business and stuff to deal with out on the other side of the coast. So pretty much this will be our last show until next week, till about next either Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm gonna miss doing this for a few days, but hey, we got today, so let's go ahead and jump into our first segment, and that's gonna be TNF preview tonight. Falcons 4-5 going against the Panthers, who are 2-7 right now. Both these teams are looking to get themselves on the win in the win column. You have a Carolina Panthers team that actually played this Falcons team pretty tough a few weeks back. The game was very, very close. It actually came down to a very bonehead play by the Panthers as well too, but their kicker also failed them in the end as well too, missing an extra point and missing pretty much the game-winning kick as well too. So there were a lot of mistakes made, but that gives you a lot of hope going into this game right here, because I think that the Panthers should be able to bounce back a bit, because this is a short week game. And I know a lot of people are already, pegging Atlanta to win this game because they were so close to winning on Sunday. But I think that this winds up being a game that is going to be a super over bet of Atlanta tonight. I really do like the Panthers coming into this spot. I don't care who the quarterback is, because I know that their run game is going to do well. Moore is actually playing his best football of the year at this point, and he was eating up Atlanta in that game as well too. So Atlanta is a team that's hard to trust. They got a 3.5-point spread tonight. They're actually the favorite, and they have not been good as a favorite to me in the last 5 years. So pretty much I can't deal with Atlanta as a favorite tonight. So I do like the Panthers in this spot, like I said the other day on NFL Bet Exchange. So we're going to see how this one shakes out, but I do got some good feelings about this one as well too. So hopefully everything works out very well for us moving forward. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Panthers and the Falcons. Good spot right here. And I have the Thursday night football bets coming up for you guys in a moment. So let's go ahead and get into our next topic in hand, and that's going to be some boxing news. And, we got a big week of boxing and everything like that, coming up this weekend somewhat, I guess. Montana Love is fighting this weekend. We also have Sonny Edwards fighting over in England as well, too. And then we got Janibek fighting as well. And then the return of Superbad, Ciencia Estrada, pretty much she's coming back after her little time off and everything like that from not being able to fight over at Golden Boy. But, there's a lot of things that were into that situation as well, too. There's a lot of back and forth going with that, but, who cares? At the end of the day, she's back in the ring. We'll see if she'll be able to prove anything to us moving forward. And does she really warrant the big dollars that she's trying to demand? We'll see how it goes, though. You know what I mean? Top rank is everybody, when they land at top rank, they feel like they're at home until they get to really know what's going on. You know what I mean? So sometimes people think that they're going to be able to sell, but they're just not selling. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot I know about the boxing business. I'm not just a person who talks in the media. I'm not just a fan. Like, literally, I'm literally know the business of boxing. So pretty much it's a tough sport, but let's go ahead and jump into the Bivol situation. Bivol shows some superb skill set and one-sided win to retain the WBA strap. And I truly do feel that, this guy is a very, very talented fighter. And, if I'm doing my pound for pound list, he's been in my top 5 for a while now. Even before, I really liked him a lot, even before this Canelo fight. When I did meet him over at Churchill, I thought that this guy was a very, very scary person in a sense because he had no facial expression. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, that's Bivol, that's Bivol. This was 3 years ago. And Bivol was just, coming out and things like that. And, he had just won his championship, all that good stuff. It was tough for him to get fights and everything at that time because didn't nobody want to fight him. And then now you see the reasons why people didn't want to fight him. Bivol is an excellent fighter, and I think that Bivol is somebody that we are going to get to know a lot better over the next few years. And we got him in his prime as well, too. He absolutely destroyed Zurdo. A lot of people felt Zurdo had a chance because he's a big fella and everything like that. He fought at cruiserweight, could possibly fight at heavyweight, but you guys got to understand there's a reason why the guy was fighting at light heavyweight for this long. He wouldn't be able to stand. I don't think he would have been able to stand up to some of the cruiserweights that we have nowadays. I don't think that he would have been able to stand up to any heavyweight that they have as well either. So, I know that a lot of people get excited about people when they see records of 44-0 and they're on Golden Boy and all this good stuff. But at the end of the day, Zurdo Ramirez was out of his element. And that could be seen from the first bell on, but that doesn't take anything away from him as a really good fighter. You know what I mean? It just wasn't his night. And it just wasn't the right opponent for him either. But they kind of knew that going in. But you got to get, and people got to understand. I see people all the time. He shouldn't have took that fight. No, dude, he should take that fight because that's, life-changing money at the end of the day. Because they're prize fighters. They don't jump into this business to just, pick and choose and try to just really dominate every single fight because they're not going to get paid that way. So when you want to go ahead and get paid, you're going to have to take risk. And what happened was he went against the riskiest situation in the division. He knew what time it was from the bell on that he had to pretty much score a knockout because he's not fighting. He's not going to have a skillful night because he doesn't have the same skills as Bivol. So Bivol was able to go ahead and expose that. He had a great night. Even he was so classy in the win as well, too. He didn't take anything away from Zurdo. He could have been real cocky about it. And from what I'm hearing right now is he's not very interested in a Canelo rematch either. And it's not because, the money or anything of that nature. The guy kind of understands that at the end of the day, it wouldn't be a big deal to him winning again. It would be more about Canelo trying to win this fight. And you know what? In that type of rematch and type of situation, I don't trust it either because it would seem like they would probably try to give Canelo everything, every chance and every opportunity to actually win the fight. It doesn't matter how the fight would go. So I think that Bivol is on the right path right now to try to get to this better beef unification fight. Or he could possibly go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to move up 2 weight divisions and try to get into that heavyweight picture as well, too, because he's a light heavyweight. And most times light heavyweights are jumping to heavyweight division when they go up. They usually skip cruiserweight. I know cruiserweight actually has became a division where people talk about it now, but you have to understand, I'm still old school in my mind in boxing. I'm still old school when it comes to boxing. If it's not the heavyweight division, everything else is something that is great, but they're not the ones that bring the knockouts. They're the ones that bring skill, bring all the good stuff. You just want to see fights, right? But I always say the cash cow and the ones that bring you to the arena will always be heavyweights. Everybody else has to sell a little bit harder and show you a little bit of something for you to really be invested in it. So that's what I'm seeing here. Bivol shows his superb skill set. One-sided win to retain his WBA strap. Not a problem at all for Mr. Bivol. And he moves on to greener pastures. I think Zurdo will be on his way up to, fight some more big fights as we go, but we'll see how it goes. All right, David Morrell, the Cuban crusher. This man shows he can be special, but fight ends with the scary TKO that puts Aidos in a coma. Okay, this one was a topic that had a lot of traction this week because a lot of people were talking about the safety of fighters and all that good stuff. And, everybody wanted to be, very gung-ho about the way that the corner responded, the way that the ref responded. And, pretty much it was just, why would they just leave a guy out there like that? Well, the guy was the number one contender. The guy felt like he had a shot. And you know what? It's blood, guts, and glory in boxing as well, too. Guys, sometimes they don't want to look like quitters. You know what I mean? They don't want to quit on the stool. They don't want to hear that because you know what? The fans are so brutal. But then when something like this happens, they want to be so caring. I think that's absolute garbage. You know what I mean? You knew that the guy was, you guys know what you signed up for, okay? And pretty much there's going to be blood and guts. There's going to be moments where people are going to be knocked unconscious, and there's going to be moments where people go to the hospital and may lose their life because that's boxing. And we do want it to be a safer sport, but if you really wanted to be a safer sport, they would wear headgear in every single fight. They don't. So what happens is that when you get punched in the brain a lot, you're going to have some issues. You know what I mean? So as once again, they know what they signed up for. I hate the fact that happened to this man. But the way that people were going about talking about Tony Weeks, a guy who knows exactly what he's doing in there. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Tony Weeks as well, too. I know him personally. And then, you have a corner that has the idea that put it in the back of their head that we're going to go out here, we're going to go out on our shield. Even though our guy's getting killed in here, we're going to let him keep going because we have this idea that he might have a Rocky moment. And that's the biggest problem with trainers is that they feel like, okay, I don't want to throw in the towel because I don't want to hurt this man's pride. You are supposed to be responsible for that person as well, too. So they don't get exempted from that. But Tony Weeks is a guy that was pretty much going with the flow of the fight. And he felt that he didn't need to stop it. But when you have announcers that are saying that enough is enough, did you ever, that you can pause the mic for a second and say, hey, man, or whisper in somebody's ear, hey, I think they might need to get this over with. And I know Ray did that as well, too. And they didn't listen. So pretty much, when you got the announcer already kind of, playing up the situation, everybody starts to get concerned about it. But I really do feel like you guys know what you signed up for. We're going to have these moments in fights. You do not want to see this happen on live TV. You really don't. But you know what? Sometimes it's just inevitable because some guys who with superior skills like David Morrell, they're going to really go out there and they're going to try to butcher a guy. You know what I mean? And they're not doing it on purpose. It's just how they want to go ahead and present themselves as one of the top tier boxers. And that's where we always talk about levels in this game. And all it was that he wasn't on the same level as David Morrell. Okay. And that's all what happened. David Morrell gets a great victory, but it gets kind of marred because you're more worried about the guy that he absolutely destroyed. Yes, we're worried about you. We hope that you do make a full recovery, but everybody acting as if they're going to pay this man's bills at the end of the day, that's just absolutely just like, all right, whatever, man. Y'all just talking to talk so you can go ahead and get some reaction and some response. You know what I mean? You could care less about this dude, to be honest with you. I care for him. I hope that he does very well, but don't play yourself and act like this stopped your whole day or something like that. It's a rough sport. That's all I'm saying. And guys, I'm going to say it one last time. Guys know what they signed up for. These women know what they signed up for. Boxing is a brutal, nasty sport in and outside of the ring. If you don't want to watch it, if you don't want to take part of it, you don't have to come to the events. You don't have to comment on it. Okay. But I wish him well. I hope everything works out for Aidos. I hope that he makes a full recovery from what they're saying. And I hope that he never steps back in the ring again, because he's already proven his point that, he's a warrior and he went about his business. But there's no point in this guy boxing ever again, because he has a permanent injury now as well, too. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. That's boxing, right? So let's go ahead and jump into it and talk about the WBC convention, which got a little dictatory. You know what I mean? I know I'm making up new words, but sounded like that they act like they run boxing or something like that. I love the WBC, but come on, man, y'all been ordering fights the last 3 months, and ain't nobody signed up for it with you. The reason why y'all did that, because y'all want to make a big splash at the convention to show like they really care. But they know that these fights that they want to make are going to be very tough to make. But what they trying to do is they appeasing the internet. They appeasing the fans. That's what they doing, right? What they doing is just lining up their pockets as usual. You know what I mean? Shout out to the sanctioning bodies. They know how to kind of fool y'all a little bit. You know what I mean? They don't control what's going to happen with these guys. Y'all got to understand that part. Wilder Ruiz, yes, that was talked about, but Wilder has bigger fish to fry right now. And I don't think he really cares too much for another Tyson Fury situation. I don't think that he's begging to fight Tyson Fury again. He would love to fight Usyk, things like that. And I know they just want to throw Andy Ruiz in there because Andy Ruiz was a champion one time. And I don't think Andy Ruiz deserves to be back in the fold like that, because he literally could have kept his championship, but he went ahead and gained 70 extra pounds and went in there and absolutely embarrassed himself on the biggest night of his career. So, rewarding him with this is kind of like, all right, you guys are just trying to help them sell a fight. And I think that is a great fight, but I think at the end of the day, I know that this is just more. It's kind of a bait fight. You know what I mean? In a sense, you know what I mean? To put black against brown and stuff like that, and that's good. That sells. That's the controversies. That's what you want. But I don't think that this fight is good at all. I think that it's a one-sided situation, and I think what happens here is that you got Andy Ruiz, who's a very skillful guy, throws his hands very quickly. But Deontay is a very tall man, and he knows how to use his leverage. I truly do think that he will hurt Andy Ruiz very badly in this fight. And so pretty much that can be a really good fight. But I don't know if they're going to make this fight. That's the whole thing, because Deontay wants to go to Europe and take and have big fights over there, because it's in demand of having him over there. So it would be great to see him fight Usyk AJ. Possibly his name's kind of slipping my tongue right now, but with Dylan White. You know what I mean? Who's been calling him out for years. So there's a lot of options for Deontay that are a lot more money, in my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes. But that's just one fight. Then you got Shakur Stevenson and Isaac Cruz. Let me tell you something from knowing some real information. Isaac Cruz can fight whoever he wants. All right? Isaac Cruz is not attached at the hip to PBC. Okay? The thing is everybody on PBC is an independent person. So if the fight makes sense, the money is there, they can go ahead and make that fight happen. And he's under the umbrella of MP Promotions. So pretty much they're in a partnership in a sense with PBC and Heyman and TGB. But if Bromigo has an offer or something gets mandated and the fight makes sense, they can go over there and make the fight happen. That's the whole thing. And this will be a fight that would really give Shakur Stevenson the box office that he needs, because he's going to be taking on a tough Bromigo there. And that fight to me is not a walk in the park for Shakur Stevenson at all. That's a fight where Shakur Stevenson can get exposed very, very quickly, because the thing is, my man doesn't mind going to the body. And that's something that was very bothersome to Shakur Stevenson when I saw him fight it live against Valdez. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a dominant performance, it looked like on TV, but when when you actually watch the fight, there were points in times where, Shakur was kind of, hesitant to get back up in there when he was feeling them body shots, but he toughed it out and was better. But I truly do think that these fights that they're making are good. They look really good on paper and they look really good for the masses. But I think at the end of the day, though, this is going to be something that's going to still be something that you really do got to take into account. Can the fights happen? Will the money be there? I think that what all they're doing right now, WBC, is they're just stroking their ego right now to have some moments to where they'll make some news, get fans really excited, get fans in a tizzy. And I think boxing got to stop doing that, man. You guys got to have these fights be signed off, sealed, and delivered, man. Because at the end of the day, these fights don't matter until it's actually fight night and we go ding, ding, ding. You know what I mean? They can talk all they want to, but I've been in this business for the last 4 years, and man, I'm telling you right now, there's so many fights they said were going to happen that did not happen. And that's because the money didn't make sense at the end of the day, or the promoters were about to lose a lot of money, so they just said, fuck it. So that's how it is, and that's how it's going to be. And I think that this is a step in the right direction to get guys going to get them fights. But are you going to get these fights? That's the question. So we'll see. Boxing, you are on notice right now, so we'll see how it goes. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. And when I get back, we will go ahead and get through our next topics at hand. That's going to be State of the Lakers. It's going to be State of the Lakers, and we're also going to talk NBA Thursday night as well, too. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Caps.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles live. Let's go ahead and jump into State of the Lakers. And I know this is just starting to become a broken record, but at the end of the day, man, the Lakers are 2-9. And you guys really aren't looking at the situation right now. Like, they set the Lakers up for automatic failure when you look at who they have to play. Like, seriously, when have the Lakers played a bad team on the schedule? The Lakers have not got anybody that's playing dumpy basketball right now. Nobody. Everybody that the Lakers have played against have absolute chances to be big-time playoff teams. They've lost to a couple of title contenders as well, too. And y'all are just giving the Lakers the business. I'm going to look at everything right now. New Orleans started off when they got to – okay, New Orleans might be the only significant win they got, and Denver as well, too. Golden State, Clippers, Portland, Denver, Minnesota. Minnesota does have a losing record. Utah, Cleveland, Utah, Clippers. Every single one of those teams have a winning record. Every single one of them. So, and they're playing great basketball right now. So, literally, the Lakers play Sacramento on Friday. That's almost like, wow, we're going to get ourselves a game where we can actually play against a team and do some shit. You know what I mean? So, I would say the Lakers are in good shape coming into the next game because they're playing Sacramento. Sacramento's not playing great basketball right now. And so I would say this, the Lakers really have not been it's not on their side. Even if the Lakers were somewhat better, they would still, to me, be like a 5-6 team. They still have a losing record because these teams that they're playing are really good. So, the Lakers are going to get better, I guess, as soon as the pressure comes off of everybody not expecting to win a championship. All right, the Lakers and everybody who really deals with the Lakers know and knew that there wasn't going to be no championship this year. When you look over at that bench, is that a bench that will help you win a championship? And never compare them to what Kobe had. Kobe had guys that were soldiers that would go in there and be killers when they needed to be. You know what I mean? Phil wouldn't even have you on the roster if he wasn't going to be manning up. Period, point blank. That's the difference between a Phil Jackson and a Darvin Ham. You know what I mean? Damn near forgot his name because he ain't going to be the coach too much longer. Because at the end of the day, yeah, he can preach as much as he wants to, but they look terrible. It does not matter. And here goes some quick news. Justin Turner's option has been declined by the Dodgers. They'll probably try to rework something out to where they cut the money a little bit shorter, but that's a talk for another day. We'll probably talk about that on Mike's show in a minute. But we have ourselves a very good situation here, in my opinion. I think that the Lakers can get this together. I'm looking at the schedule, not get it together to where they're going to be back in the playoffs, but they'll start winning games. They'll stop looking so bad because you got Sacramento, you got Brooklyn, you got Detroit, and you got San Antonio coming up next 4 games. Then you hit the road for 3 games, and you got San Antonio back-to-back. Then you got Indiana, and then you got, as you square off with Portland again. All right, so I think that the Lakers, all in all, just have to breathe and tell themselves that it's going to be a rough road this season, but we don't have to make it to where we're going to struggle every night. And I really do want to see these bench players start stepping up. They're getting a little bit more comfortable and things like that, but it's still not good enough, okay? So I truly do feel like the Lakers will be able to be better in the coming weeks, especially playing Sacramento Friday. If they lose to Sacramento Friday, they might as well just trade everybody by Monday. Seriously, because there ain't no chance. But there already wasn't a chance. But I still think that the Lakers played a very tough 11 games. Like, when you look at it, those teams are good. They're not playing Detroit. They're not playing Charlotte. They're not playing San Antonio. They're not playing Oklahoma City. They played the Clippers twice. They played Denver twice. They played Utah twice. These teams are playing great basketball right now. They played the Warriors as well too, opening night. So it's just not good right now because they're playing a tough schedule. It's that simple. So there it is. We move on. Let's talk about the NBA tonight. That will put us all in a better mood. First game we got going on for NBA Thursday night is going to be the Mavs at the Wizards, and the Mavs at the Wizards always calls for a fun situation. And you got Luka, the leading scorer in the NBA tonight, trying to go ahead and keep his thing going, but we'll see how it goes. You got a Wizards team that's they're 5-6. Remember when the Wizards was 8-2, number 1 in the East, and they actually was talking that up the first month of the season last year, guys. And I already said this on the show, but they got put out at the top of March. So that always cracked me up when they got really excited about the Wizards. Now they're 2-2 this month, coming off a good win against Charlotte on the road as well too. They played way better basketball since getting beat by 42 the other night by Brooklyn. Yeah, on last Friday they got beat by 42 points. Came back around, lost by 6. Now they won by 8. This is again a night that they'll probably really want to look good in because they look so bad when it came down to it at the end of the day. Now you got this Mavs team that's started off the month with 3 straight wins, then went to Orlando on Wednesday night and got beat. So, it's okay. It's okay because they played the game at 5:30 in the afternoon East Coast time. So they played the game on a time where a lot of teams really wouldn't be playing. You know what I mean? So that happens and that happens. So I think though with this, at the end of the day, this one can be a game that winds up being very good, but I really do like the way that the Wizards step in here tonight, and I see the spreads going up as it may tonight. And I say this is a tougher game for the Mavs tonight than it was yesterday. But the Mavs simply lost because they didn't take the Magic as seriously as they should have. But one thing about the Magic is the Magic have the Mavs number as well too. They playing pretty good. They even playing pretty good in Dallas as well too. So this is a good game tonight. This is a good spot. Luka's gonna be on. I know the spotlight's gonna be on Luka tonight. The game's not on national television, but still, it's a game where a lot of people are gonna be into it at the Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. So we'll see how it goes. Over under a 208.5. The spread is actually jumped up to 5.5, and they're the only home dog tonight as well too. So that's something that everything that I've just told you are key angles to possibly betting on the Wizards tonight. Maybe get you a dog bet in on them tonight. But I think that the best bet is just playing the insurance game with them. So we'll see how it goes, see how it checks out. We move forward to our next spot. That's going to be the Hornets at the Heat. The Hornets at the Heat tonight. That should be a good one. You got oh, man. My bad. Well, that's our next game. But we got Hornets at Heat. 3-9 Hornets tonight going against the 4-7 Heat. The Heat, a lot of people were like, they should be better. But the Heat, to me, are a team that they're going to start cooking in December. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the schedule now. They got Charlotte back-to-back at home. Then they got Phoenix. Then they travel on the road. They got 4 straight after that. Then they got back-to-backs with another division foe in Washington. And then they end the month on the road in Atlanta and Boston. This team should start getting much better. And I think that they're about a trade away from really being good. You know what I mean? Possibly might be thinking Westbrook off the bench. You know what I mean? That's not a bad fit at all right now for this team. So when I look at this game, you got a Charlotte team that's just really not playing good basketball at all right now. 3-9, no LaMelo for I don't know how long. They've lost 5 in a row to start the month off as well. And none of these games, and only one game was really close. That was the game against Brooklyn the other night. And they literally dropped three home games in a row. Got to be on the road, back-to-back games with Miami. And then they got Orlando, 3 straight on the road. And then Indiana. When you look more and more at their schedule, it's just, will they win a game this month? That's my biggest question. You know what I mean? So, Charlotte is over here. I don't know if they're tanking or not, but it wouldn't be bad if they were able to get these one of these top draft picks, with one of the first picks in the draft. But I don't think they're going to give Charlotte that much love here. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they want to punish Jordan a little bit. Think about it. All the success Jordan has had and all the success he hasn't had as a executive, it just kind of makes sense that they're not trying to have this man be dominant for that. You can be the greatest player all you want to, but we're not going to have you corrupt our league as an exec. All right, so there it is. Let's move forward with the Hawks and the Sixers tonight. The Hawks and Sixers, always a fun game. You got a Hawks team coming in here 7-4. You got the Sixers 5-6. Harden's still out for the month. I think what happens here is that you have some good, PJ Walker, man. I'm telling you, I'm sorry, that dog got a little off track there, but PJ Walker, man, that's that guy. That's the main reason why I'm betting on the Panthers, and I just saw something about him building chemistry with DJ Moore. Okay, you got the Hornets and you got the Sixers and the Hawks. So you got the Sixers team coming in here playing much better basketball. They've won 5 out of their last 8, to be exact, because they started the season off on 3. And they were able to get a good win the other night against Phoenix at home as well, too. A lot of people probably didn't see that one coming, but they held them to 88 points. They had a great game that night. Now they got Atlanta on a back-to-back where they play them in Atlanta tonight. They'll have them back at home in Philly on Saturday. Then Utah's right after that. And then they have Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Brooklyn all at home. So they got 5 straight coming up at home. So I think their mind will be on that a bit, but this is literally they played 5 road games this month. Most of their games are going to be at home this month because they just played 3 in a row at home, and then they got this road game. So I think that when it comes down to it, this team wants to go ahead and get themselves a nice little win tonight here in this spot. I know Atlanta wants to get themselves a nice win. And this one really works out in a sense to where Atlanta should be really good tonight. They're fourth in the league when it comes to scoring. You got Philly, who's a better defensive team right now. And they are a team that I think that once they get healthy, they're going to be really good. They're going to be one of the more dominant teams in the league, but they're 23rd in points scored. I don't know if they have enough defense tonight to keep up with the Hawks. I like the Hawks on the money line. In a rare pick for Thursday, I don't have a dog here, but I think this is one of them days where it ain't really a dog day like that. So I do like the Hawks coming into this game tonight with the minus 120. I think that it should be a very good spot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, and we move forward from there. All right, let's go ahead and look at our final game. That's going to be between the Blazers and the Pelicans. The Blazers, a surprising 8-3, playing great basketball right now, but they're coming fresh off of a loss as well, too. Pelicans start the season off very well. They've dropped their last 6 out of 8 games, but they're still a team that will play a factor into a lot of things. Brandon Ingram had a concussion that kind of messed things up a little bit. They've won, and I see now this team in the Blazers, they've won 3 out of 5 this month after starting the season off winning 5 out of 6. So this team isn't really missing a beat without Lillard. You know what I mean? They just are a very cohesive unit. They love playing with each other. This is why Damian Lillard said, "Don't trade me. I'm here. I'm here." Because everybody named Mama called Portland to try to get Damian Lillard, but he wasn't having it. And that just shows the sign of a guy who's a real true throwback and that he's willing to wait it out with this team right here till they get great. And he knows that they got pieces in place that are going to be good. And see, that's true leadership right there. You know what I mean? Because they've given Dame a talented groups, but they just couldn't play defense. Now they gave them a talented group that can play defense, and that's why they're playing the way that they're playing. When you look at this team, they haven't given up 120 all month as well either. There's teams that do that every night. So there's a lot of things that work out in the Blazers' favor that makes everything feel good about moving forward with them, you know, as a team that you bet when the spot is there. But tonight, I think the spot is there for a big upset as well, too. You got a team in the Pelicans have lost 3 out of 5 this month, and literally every game, every night, they really got to play some good defense to really be even in the game. So I'm looking at all 3 of their losses. They gave 120 plus points in each one of those games. If they can keep this team, if they can keep the Blazers down from that margin, they should possibly win the game tonight because their 2 wins this month. One, they won 114 to 105 and then 115 to 111. So, you know, there's things that work out for the Pelicans. They're 6-5 in this game as well, too. As I said before, they started off the season 3-0. They've been shaky since, you know what I mean? Well, 2-0, they actually started the season off. And, you know, from being 4-2 in October to now being 3-3 to 2-3, you know what I mean? This will be the Pelicans season. They'll have it to where they go on a nice little run, get some streaking in, and then they'll have a point where they lose some games. That's the tellings of a team that's going to be a definite A seed, in my opinion. So you got the Pelicans, you got the Blazers. This one should be a good one tonight. It's a scoreboard watch, in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And Pelicans, Blazers should be a very, very good game. You know, Zion will be on full display. So it is what it is at the end of the day. And let's go ahead and get into we'll go ahead and take a quick break. And when I get back, we'll go ahead and get into Talking Tickets. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Cap.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, so we are back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper. Let's go ahead and jump into our talking tickets for today. Up first, we got the Thursday night bets. We got Georgia Southern going against Lafayette, and I like Lafayette to win the game, and then I like the under 31.5 first half here as well. And then I also like Georgia Southern to have the game at least tied up in the first quarter. So we got those bets tonight in the Sun Belt matchup. And then we have the AAC matchup tonight with Tulsa at Memphis. And then Tulsa at Memphis tonight, we got Memphis with the -7. I like them to win this game and win this game by a lot. And I like Memphis first half as well too. I feel like they should be up a touchdown in the first half. And then I do feel like we do get some scoring going in this first quarter as well, too. So Tulsa at Memphis, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. And those are our Thursday night college football bets. All right, so we have ourselves the CBB PrimeTime PK6. You know I'm the CBB guru. I couldn't do this I can't do a show without talking about some college basketball, period, point blank, when college basketball is in full effect. And you know I love college basketball more than I love NBA. So I love this ticket right here, 68-1. We got Charlotte Southern plus 26.5. We got UMass with the -165. We also have Stephen F. Austin with the -6. We also have Eastern Illinois with the +10. We also have Kansas with the -24.5. And then we have the Riverside money line +225. This is going to be a 68-1 ticket right here. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, we got the Wizards at the Wizards +5 tonight at home. Also taking the over 214.5 with the Hornets and the Heat. Then we have the 70. That's not the Sixers tonight. I'm sorry about that. I'll make sure I flip it. It's the Hawks money line tonight at -120 because the 76ers are the actual dog tonight, but they're only even money. But once again, it's not the Sixers who are to play. It's the Hawks who are to play, okay? So I had to go ahead and switch that up. I just caught that right now. I should have double-checked before I put the picture up, but I was rushing because it's a busy day for me. Then we have the under 222 with the Blazers and the Pelicans. We'll see how that one goes. 12-1 should be a good bet as well, too. So let's see how this 12-1 ticket goes, and we move forward from there. We end up with the Thursday night football bets. We got the Panthers money line +130 for the win tonight. Then we have the Panthers first half +1. We're banking on having either the Panthers up or having a tie game at the half. And then I will play this very, very low first quarter over under of 3.5. Come on, we can get a touchdown. Can't we get a touchdown? Because Atlanta's defense ain't that great. And Carolina's defense has been getting absolutely shredded the last few weeks as well, too. So we can get a little something going. And then we have the Panthers over 19.5. I expect these guys to put at least 24 points on the board tonight. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. And that will be our talking tickets for today. So talking tickets isn't going nowhere this week. I still have that ready for you guys on a daily basis while I'm over in the city of Cleveland. So pretty much going home for my father's other second celebration of life with a lot of my immediate family. So pretty much it will be a very good experience and everything like that. I'm guessing I haven't been there in about 10 years. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be trying to do some videos and everything out there as well too. So you guys be ready. Talking Tickets isn't going anywhere. We'll have that, but the show won't be back until early next week. All right. So you guys are the absolute best. I can't wait to get back to you and talk some more of this sports game with you and more of this sports betting with you. So you guys stay tuned. Big things are on the way. And I'm your man, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles Live. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'll be back to you guys very, very soon. And as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.